Welcome back, coins enthusiasts. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of Australian 5 and 20-cent coins, small in face value, but massive in collector demand. These humble coins might seem like spare change at first glance, but depending on their year, condition, minting errors, and rarity, they can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars in today's auction market. Whether you've got a shoebox full of coins or just a curious eye, this list could transform your pocket change into a profitable discovery. So grab your magnifying glass and coin albums, because we're about to reveal the top 4 most valuable 5 and 20-cent coins in Australia. Let's get started. First up, the 1989 Australian 5-cent coin. At first glance, it may appear to be just another small coin, now faded with rust and wear, but what lies beneath that time-worn surface could be worth a fortune. Let's explore how this unassuming coin might transform your spare change into a millionaire's dream. Minted in the era of robust industrial transformation and economic reform, the 1989 5-cent coin holds more than just its face value. It's a tiny time capsule. Made from a 75% copper and 25% nickel alloy, this coin has a weight of 2.83 grams, a diameter of 19.41 millimeters, and a milled edge that once gleamed with precision. However, as it aged through circulation, many of these coins developed a rusty patina, a natural oxidation that today adds both character and intrigue, especially when the rest of the features remain identifiable. The obverse, front, of the 1989 5-cent coin features the familiar regal image of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by the esteemed artist Raphael Maklauf. Her portrait, facing right, is surrounded by the inscription Elizabeth II Australia 1989, elegantly spaced along the rim. This version of Her Majesty's portrait radiates a strong yet refined aura, capturing the maturity of her reign with a blend of classical and modern styling. Truly a royal representation in pocket-sized metal. But flip the coin, and you're met with one of Australia's most beloved animal icons. The reverse side, designed by Stuart Devlin, showcases the endearing and enigmatic echidna. Curled into a defensive pose, its sharp spines fanned across the coin's surface, the echidna is meticulously engraved to emphasize its unique natural armor. Nestled in its center is the bold numeral 5, symbolizing its denomination. This little marsupial, etched in such masterful detail, embodies the spirit of Australia's diverse and resilient wildlife. Few coins have managed to blend national pride and artistry as seamlessly as this one. Now, let's talk about value, the part that could make your heart race. Although over 40 million 5-cent coins were struck in 1989, not all were created equal. Circulated examples in average condition might fetch just above face value, but when it comes to error coins, misstrikes, or those in unusually preserved or intriguing states, such as your rusty-toned circulated condition, the story changes dramatically. Some collectors are drawn to unique patinas and visual aging, especially when paired with clearly visible designs, minimal wear on key features, and historical context. A rare minting flaw such as an off-center strike, broad strike, or die crack can elevate this coin's worth to between $100 Australian dollars and $3,000, depending on rarity and visual appeal. The market for pre-1990 Australian small denominations has grown considerably in the last few years, with niche collectors and international buyers chasing after unique pieces. Demand is rising for coins that represent transitional years, coins with visible character, or even just those that survive decades in unusual conditions. And let's not forget the error hunting community, a vibrant scene where rusty, oddly shaped, or misprinted coins can create viral bidding wars on auction sites like eBay or specialized numismatic forums. In recent auctions, 1989 5-cent coins with off-metal strikes or highly preserved conditions have surprisingly soared in value. One example, with a minor die rotation and brilliant luster, was sold for over 1,500 Australian dollars. Imagine what a rusty but otherwise sharply designed piece might attract from collectors obsessed with visual contrast and natural weathering. A coin that looks like it battled the elements and survived can be more appealing than one that's mint fresh. And here's the exciting twist. Many of these treasures are still hiding in plain sight, lodged in old purses, forgotten drawers, or dusty biscuit tins across the nation. So that 1989 5-cent coin sitting in your hand right now, with its rough copper tone, worn ridges, and stubborn rust, might just be one of a kind, a conversation-starting centerpiece for a collector's display, or a historic marvel that deserves a spotlight. If your coin is circulated with rusty coloration, but the obverse and reverse designs are still clearly visible, and there's any error or irregularity in its strike or edge, it's strongly recommended to get it evaluated by a professional, perhaps the Australian Coin Grading Service, ACGS, or another reputable numismatic expert. In a hot market where collectors are hunting for coins with character, history, and distinction, yours might just be the golden ticket. So, before you dismiss that small, rusty, old coin, remember, in the dazzling world of coin collecting, it's not just about shine. Sometimes, the weathered, the worn, the uniquely flawed become the most treasured of all. And who knows, your 1989 Australian 5-cent coin might not just be a survivor of time. It might be your million-dollar miracle in the making. Next up, the 1981 Australian 20-cent coin. Circulated, worn, and tossed in change jars across the country, this silver-toned disc could hold a value far beyond its humble face. Whether you're holding a slightly scratched, well-loved piece or a peculiar version with something off about it, this coin could be your golden goose. Minted in one of the most intriguing numismatic years in Australian history, the 1981 20-cent coin is unlike any other. That year, due to high demand, the Royal Australian Mint outsourced production to 3 different locations: Canberra, Australia, Royal Mint in London, and the Royal Canadian Mint. Each of these mints produced millions of coins with subtle differences, making 1981 a triple mint year and a jackpot for collectors. While standard coins from Canberra are abundant, it's the Canadian and London minted variants, plus rare error coins, that cause the real buzz in the numismatic world. Let's begin with its physical identity. This coin is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, with a diameter of 28.52 millimeters, thickness of 2.00 millimeters, and weighing in at 11.31 grams. It has a reeded edge, adding texture and grip, and a bright silvery appearance, though over time, circulated coins take on a dull, slightly matte tone. Some 1981 coins are now grayed or blackened, especially those exposed to moisture, giving them a battle-worn character that only enhances their mystique. On the obverse, we find the majestic profile of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by the revered Arnold Machin. Her serene yet commanding portrait is surrounded by the text, Elizabeth II, Australia, 1981. The design is finely detailed, her crown, flowing hair, and royal posture etched with such care that even in a circulated state, the craftsmanship often remains beautifully visible. This side of the coin is a window into royal heritage and numismatic artistry combined. Flip it over, and you're greeted by one of the most fluid, dynamic reverse designs in Australian coinage, the iconic platypus, gliding effortlessly through stylized water currents. Designed by Stuart Devlin, the renowned goldsmith and engraver, this image has become a symbol of both Australia's unique fauna and the power of motion in still form. The platypus's body curves with grace, and its webbed limbs and beady eye remain focal points of the coin's energetic personality. The large, bold numeral 20 sits prominently to the left, anchoring the motion with stability and balance. But now let's talk about value, the part that makes your heart race. In circulated condition, a standard 1981 20-cent coin from Canberra may fetch anywhere from face value up to $1 Australian, depending on where. But the game changes completely with Canadian minted coins, known for a high rim and narrower milling, and particularly with coins featuring minting errors. These include off-center strikes, double-rimmed edges, die clashes, and the ultra-sought-after mule errors, where a coin might accidentally carry the wrong obverse or misaligned features. What makes the Canadian Mint 1981 coin special is their sharper edge detail, broader rim, and crisp finish, even in circulated condition. Because they weren't marked with a mint letter, detecting them requires a sharp eye, a challenge for experts and a thrill for hunters. Some numismatists have paid over $150 Australian to $400 for well-preserved Canadian mint coins, and up to $1,500 or more for error coins in high demand. In rare cases, a mule coin or one struck on a wrong planchet, like a foreign coin blank, has been known to fetch up to 5,000 Australian dollars to $10,000, particularly in auctions and private sales. Demand for this coin has only intensified. Thanks to social media coin hunting communities, YouTube treasure hunters, and TikTok numismatics influencers, the 1981 20-cent coin has become something of a legend. A coin where the right detail, variant, or mint origin can skyrocket its value into thousands of dollars. Collectors from the USA, UK, and even Southeast Asia are joining in, further driving global competition and price spikes. Even a rusted, gray, or worn-out coin can command attention if it shows any abnormalities in design or texture, or if it can be traced back to a foreign mint origin. If you have a coin with off-center details, a doubled 20, or uneven edges, don't toss it. That could be your gold mine. So, what should you do if you have a 1981 20-cent coin? First, check the rim and edge detail. Look for any odd spacing, high rims, or deeper reading, which may point to the Canadian origin. Next, inspect for error signs, a shift in the design, misalignment between sides, or strange markings. Lastly, even a basic coin in average circulated condition with clear design elements can be worth far more than its face value, especially in bulk or if part of a variant lot. In a world where treasures hide in the mundane, where fortunes sleep in kitchen drawers, and where history breathes through metal, the 1981 Australian 20-cent coin proves that even ordinary change can unlock extraordinary wealth. Don't underestimate what's in your pocket. That coin might just be your silver-plated miracle. Next up, the 1999 Australian 20-cent coin in excellent condition. At first glance, it may appear modest, nestled among other change in your pocket. But when you pause, tilt it to the light, and let its elegant details dance before your eyes, you realize this is not just pocket change. This is history, art, and potential fortune fused in metal. The 1999 20-cent coin belongs to a fascinating time in Australia's coinage history. This was a pre-millennium year, just before the digital revolution swept across the globe. Minted at the Royal Australian Mint, this coin carried a sense of precision and pride, designed not just to fulfill economic circulation, but to uphold tradition and national identity. With a total mintage of approximately 29.2 million, it wasn't the lowest mintage year, but it stands apart because of its striking quality, aesthetic consistency, and growing market attention among error hunters and collectors. This coin is crafted from 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it that signature silvery shine with a smooth but firm texture. It has a diameter of 28.52 millimeters, a weight of 11.31 grams, and a thickness of 2.00 millimeters, with a distinctive reeded edge that completes its crisp, circular silhouette. In excellent condition, the coin's surface gleams with a soft satin luster. The edges are sharp, the details are crisp, and it carries the aura of something well-preserved through decades of wear and tear. Let's begin with the obverse design, which features the timeless profile of Queen Elizabeth II, facing right, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. This was the first year that his portrait replaced the previous version by Raphael Maklauf, marking a new royal era on Australia's circulating coins. The image is striking. Queen Elizabeth appears elegant yet dignified, with more realistic facial contours and age detail than previous designs. The inscriptions Elizabeth II Australia 1999 surround the portrait in clean, proportional spacing. This version of the Queen's effigy remains one of the most favored among collectors due to its modern realism and transitional importance. But flip the coin, and you're greeted by a national icon in motion, the platypus, gracefully gliding through swirling water. This stunning reverse design, created by Stuart Devlin, Australia's official goldsmith and coin designer, showcases the creature's fluid elegance. The platypus is curled with energy and balance, its limbs, bill, and spines beautifully etched against flowing lines of water. The large, embossed 20 is set slightly off-center, harmonizing with the movement. It's more than a coin. It's a miniature sculpture of Australian wildlife in perpetual motion. Now, let's unlock the million-dollar question. What is the 1999 Australian 20-cent coin really worth in today's collector market? In excellent, uncirculated condition, graded MS64, MS67. This coin can command between $15 and $50 from collectors looking to complete a set or admire the brilliance of its transitional obverse design. But here's where it gets thrilling. Errors, die varieties, and off-metal strikes from this year have been known to skyrocket in value, reaching $300 to over $2,000, depending on the flaw and rarity. Some of the most valuable versions of this coin include off-center strikes, where the design is visibly misaligned; die cracks or cuds, where part of the coin appears raised or melted; double obverse or reverse designs, a true rarity; and the elusive wrong planchet errors, where the coin was accidentally struck on a foreign metal blank, a jaw-dropping find if discovered. The coin's excellent condition becomes even more crucial when paired with an error. Collectors pay exponentially more for coins that are both rare in strike and visually sharp in design. Your 1999 coin, if free from heavy scratches and with luster intact, could potentially be a top contender in auctions or private numismatic sales. Even standard coins in stunning condition, no bag marks, clear details, strong rims, are being bought and hoarded by collectors anticipating future value spikes. As Australian coin collecting grows internationally, driven by influencers and digital treasure hunters, clean, preserved examples of pre-2000 coins are climbing steadily in demand. The 1999 20-cent coin, sitting right at the edge of a millennium shift, is considered a timeline marker, a coin from a time before the digital world truly took over, making it a symbolic and sentimental collector's item. And don't forget, collectors often build entire decades' worth of coin sets, and when they search for 1999, they look for coins in premium shape. That gives your excellent condition coin a distinct edge in the marketplace. So, what do you do next if you think your 1999 20-cent coin might be more than meets the eye? First, examine it under a magnifying lens. Check for any oddities, shifts, doubling, or defects. Take note of its luster, rim sharpness, and detail clarity. Then, compare it to auction listings from reputable coin houses or platforms like Downey's, eBay, and Noble Numismatics. And if it shows even a whisper of a minting anomaly, get it professionally graded. That single coin could go from drawer junk to collector's crown jewel. The 1999 Australian 20-cent coin isn't just a piece of change. It's a story of art, royal legacy, and perhaps even financial transformation. A coin in excellent condition, preserved through time, carries both beauty and bargaining power. It might not scream millionaire at first glance, but within its silvery shell lies the kind of potential that has changed the lives of collectors and treasure seekers worldwide. So don't overlook it. That shimmering 20-cent coin from 1999 could be your silent silver ticket to prosperity. Next up, the 2004 Australian 20-cent coin is a standard circulating decimal coin issued by the Royal Australian Mint, part of the iconic Australian currency series that began post-decimalization in 1966. With a diameter of 28.65 millimeters, a mass of 11.3 grams, and a composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel, this coin carries both resilience and aesthetic elegance. On the reverse side, designed by the legendary Stuart Devlin, official goldsmith and jeweler to the Queen, you'll find the classic image of the platypus. This sleek Australian native glides through stylized water currents, its fluid design giving the illusion of motion even on still metal. The texture and spacing of the ripples were masterfully crafted, a touch of modernism set against the rugged charm of this monotone alloy. On the obverse, you'll see the regal effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by Ian Rank Broadley, who introduced a slightly more realistic and less stylized depiction of Her Majesty. This portrait had been used since 1999 and continued into the 2004 issue, framed by the legend Elizabeth II Australia 2004. It's more than just a likeness. It's a cultural emblem, tying the Commonwealth together through the shared face of its monarch. In circulated coins, especially those in damaged or discolored condition, you might see wear across the cheek, hair, or neckline. Yet even such blemishes can signify unique value if they result from minting errors or rare metallic anomalies. Now, when it comes to value, most standard 2004 20-cent coins in poor, circulated condition will hover around face value, 20 cents to $1 at most in bulk, unless they exhibit exceptional errors, such as off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or die cracks. However, in the realm of numismatic investment, these very errors, or even color damage due to unusual environmental exposure, can skyrocket a coin's worth. In fact, a 2004 20-cent coin with a double obverse, die rotation, or off-metal strike has been recorded selling at auction for upwards of $500 to $1,000, depending on clarity and documentation. One extreme rarity with a known broad strike and strong cut break sold privately for nearly $2,500, making headlines in niche coin circles. The coin's color condition, often resulting in gray, yellowish, or even green-black patinas, can be a double-edged sword. While damage from corrosion typically lowers a coin's grading, certain chemical discolorations, especially those verified by experts, can suggest that a coin was struck on an experimental planchet or subjected to unique environmental interactions. These coins, when authenticated, become curiosity pieces and can fetch hundreds, even thousands of dollars in the right circles, particularly among international collectors fascinated with Australian rarities. Furthermore, the market demand for 2004 20-cent error coins has been quietly growing. As Australian collectors become more educated and globally connected through online marketplaces like eBay, Cointree, or Noble Numismatics, lesser-known varieties gain attention. A pristine or intriguing error piece can often ignite bidding wars, especially among collectors looking to complete year-specific sets. The scarcity of verified mint errors from 2004 also adds fuel to the speculative fire, creating an environment ripe for massive markups, sometimes by over 10,000% of face value. What makes the 2004 edition even more mysterious is its placement between two numismatically significant years, 2001, centenary of Federation issues, and 2005, World War II commemorative 50-cent coins. This makes 2004 coins less commemorated, but ironically more collectible in their mundane state, as they often escape notice, until discovered by sharp-eyed collectors hunting undervalued coins that could one day explode in demand. In essence, it's a sleeper year. For those lucky enough to own a circulated 2004 20-cent coin with color damage, don't toss it aside. Instead, inspect it under magnification, look for signs of die cracks, misalignment, planchet flaws, or even unusual edge patterns. Record its characteristics and compare it with known error databases. Some of the most valuable coins today, worth over 10,000 Australian dollars, were once thought to be junk change, simply because no one bothered to look twice. If your coin carries a blackened or golden tint, you could be holding a piece that interacted chemically with its environment in a way that mimicked toning seen in silver-based coins, or even acidic exposure creating a rainbow-hued patina. These are the coins that, when authenticated, can become centerpieces of collections, exhibited at shows and traded at numismatic events for fortunes. Professional coin graders like PCGS or NGC can certify and encapsulate such coins, officially elevating them from pocket change to catalog-worthy investment assets. A certified color-damaged error from 2004 recently listed on international auction sites for 1,800 Australian dollars, purely due to an off-metal anomaly and strong discoloration across the obverse. In today's economic climate, where alternative assets are booming, coins like the 2004 20-cent offer both historical and speculative appeal. They're not only metal artifacts, they're financial time capsules. With more collectors focusing on niche Australian coins and their rising value in Asian and European markets, even a single verified anomaly from 2004 could literally turn up as the next million-dollar spotlight piece. So if you've got one of these in your drawer, car console, or coin jar, don't ignore it. Examine it, photograph it, and if it looks even a little different, get it appraised by a professional. Because in the wild and electrifying world of numismatics, one forgotten coin could very well be your ticket to financial freedom.